The extrapolation of pseudo-intellectual rhetoric from excessively ornate linguistic frameworks often serve as a compensatory mechanism for underlying cognitive insecurity. And if you're wondering what I just said, people use complicated language because they're insecure and want to sound smart. And I notice we're in a new age of this where people use a bunch of bigger words, big boy words, jargon to try to make, oh, I know the subject more than you, or I'm smarter than you. But when you really get down to the root of what they're not saying much. They're just adding a bunch of words. You know, when you were doing an assignment and it was like add 100 more words to complete it, and you would start looking up random words, synonyms, and you're making things longer to sound more educated on the topic. But the reason I made this video is not to say, oh my gosh, you guys are just faking like you know everything. No, it's because this is how you get manipulated. Roll the clip.
And in many professions, including Wall Street makes it sound complicated. They don't want the little guy to understand what they do because they make so much money and they don't do very much. So they couch it in words like derivative and stock options and commodity futures and different types of contracts. It's all fairly, everyone is capable of understanding it.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that I got that clip, but it relates to the situation so good that I could not just not use it. But yes, people will hide simple meanings and simple things that you can learn in seconds behind these walls. The people higher up do not want you knowing these certain words because if you don't know, guess what? You're going to pay them your money. You're going to pay me because I can get on the phone and say, whatever. I can tell these things in a complicated way, even though they're very simple. But it's proven that when people hear a bunch of words they don't know, they just automatically will turn their brain off and think, oh, well, they probably just know what they're talking about. But we're wandering off back to the main point of the video. Why? Dude, what does it apply to you for? Okay, people talking jargon, whatever. Manipulation. If you do not know certain words and you do not know and have a better vocabulary and learn these things, people will manipulate you because your brain will turn off when they're saying all these words and you will blindly trust them. Do not be skeptic of everything, I believe, and strengthen your vocabulary through reading books. Ask ChatGPT to help you. Whatever, strengthen it so people can't use these big words to manipulate you, to get you to believe them more. How did white people get black people from stop voting? Literacy tests. Making the test, throwing in a bunch of jargon. It's not even necessarily about being smarter, but knowing people do not know these certain type of words, throw them in there, confuse them. Even if you get one wrong, you failed. That is still happening modern day in different ways, but just reform. These things are coming back. Meaning of the video right here. Knowledge is power. Learn, read, adapt, because you do not want to be manipulated. You want to know when someone is trying to manipulate you through using big words. I'm in the video off like this. To achieve sustainable success as a content creator, one must cultivate a multifaceted understanding of audience retention, metrics, algorithm optimization, brand positioning, niche differentiation, and long-term content scalability. I just asked ChatGPT to say, what does it take to be a YouTuber in a jargon way? But what's the way? To be successful on YouTube, you need to know how to keep people watching, understand the algorithm, build your image, stand out from other creators, and keep making content for a long time. That's what I said. You can understand that, right? I had to throw in a bunch of jargon. And this kind of bones at the end of the video. If you're talking to normal people and you're a person who likes to use a lot of jargon, it's not bad to talk in like a brain rot type of tone, like language, or like mix it up with modern language. It doesn't make you seem less smart. And if you're trying to relate to people who talk a certain way, if you talk similar like them, mirror them, they will understand you better. If you go to a person who doesn't really like talk like a freaking philosopher and you try to say, the meaning of life is such an illusion, and you try to say all these things, they're going to immediately tone you out. They're going to probably trust what you're saying is true, but they're not actually going to listen. If you're trying to teach something about someone, go down, learn how they talk, and imitate. Show examples in like the way they talk. But yeah, that's my advice for people with jargon. But this video is more about how to stay away from manipulation, learn more, get better. But y'all, if y'all want to talk about videos, check out my Why I Hate Instagram video. Check out the freaking Kai Cenat video. This is like, it's 12:19 a.m. where I'm at right now. I uploaded a video a couple hours ago. I really think that's gonna blow up because I hit kind of all the spots on it, and people hate Kai Cenat right now, especially. So they're gonna click on it, trying to hate, but they're actually gonna learn something from the video. But check out that video. Check out the side quest video. And I got a video I'm gonna upload probably later today about how to use a weaponized addiction. So check that when it drops. Love y'all. Peace.